Hey everyone, if you want to make your own podcast but you don't know where to begin, Spotify for Podcasters makes it super easy. They've got everything in one place, it's totally free, and you can make money while doing it. Here's how it works. Spotify for Podcasters lets you record and edit podcasts right from your phone or computer, so no matter what your setup is like, you can start doing it today. Then you can distribute your podcast to Spotify and pretty much everywhere else podcasts are heard. Video podcasts are also supported, and you can even conduct polls and Q&As. With Spotify for Podcasters, you can earn money in a variety of ways, including ads and podcast subscriptions. And best of all, the platform is totally free. No catch, totally free. When I wanted to start my own podcast, I did not know where to begin, and I didn't think it was even possible. And Spotify for Podcasters made it happen. They made it easy, they made it quick, and I am doing something that I love. What more can I ask for? So if you're interested in starting your own show, you can do it, and I highly recommend you give this a try. Download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Everything Kratom, the podcast about anything and everything Kratom. Great to have you with us on this Wednesday morning, hoping all is well with you. Here's what I have been doing this morning with my Kratom. So this morning I decided to rely on my trusty friend Green Mang Da, and I took about 2 grams of that, maybe a little bit more actually, and then on top of that I took a gram of white Thai. Yes, white Thai. So it's a very good power couple, I would say, and working wonders for me. I feel this slow buildup of energy. I took it about a half an hour ago. I took both around the same time, maybe a minute in between each, and took the Green Mang Da first. That building is still happening. I love the build that the Green Mang Da has, and then on top of that, the white Thai kind of starting off the morning with a little bit of a boost and kicking it off with a bang. So it's a very complimentary couple of Kratom varieties, and I am feeling fine. So definitely in a good mood today. So today, I wanted to talk a bit about a new type of Kratom that I never have heard of before. And this is really exciting, and I have to do a shout out right now to my man Sean at Philly Kratom. Thank you so much for sending along these different types of Kratom for me to try. It's really exciting. I've had a few of these, other ones I haven't, and so I thought that I would do an episode on one of these types of Kratom that I've never had today. So thank you very much, Sean at Philly Kratom. So what is the type of Kratom I've never tried? It's called Yellow Tanjung. Yellow Tanjung. So this is one I've never heard of before, and not only that, I don't know anything about yellows, right? Like, what is a yellow Kratom strain? So today I'm going to talk a little bit about what I've been finding out about that, and this has all been prompted by, trying this Yellow Tanjung. So I guess first, let's talk about yellows. So yellows, when I started this podcast, I had a feeling that Kratom was more complex than I ever thought. And if there's anything I've been learning, it's that's 100% true. But I didn't really know the specifics. I knew that there was red, green, and white varieties of Kratom. I knew that had something to do with the drying process, and if it was inside or outside, or how long it dried or something, but that's basically it. And that helped, create the alkaloid profiles and how Kratom affects you. But that's it. And I've been learning ever since. But even though I'm not an expert, I've been finding out a lot recently. And yellow Kratom is something that I've seen pop up time and time again, but I've just never looked into because it's just not something that's been on my radar. And so now that, I received this Yellow Tanjung from Philly Kratom, I looked it up and I really did some research into yellows, and I put a link in the description of this episode you can take a look at. And this is in kratom.org, and they talk about, what makes Yellow Tanjung different than other types of Kratom and what makes yellows in general different than other types of Kratom. So this is what I've found. So it says this. It says, there are 3 main types of Kratom, that there's green, white, and red. Yellow Kratom is not one of the 3 main strain types. It says, instead, it is made by sun-drying and fermenting green strains. This fermentation process alters the alkaloid content and makes the green strain more sedating. Yellow Tanjung is made by fermenting a green strain from the Kalimantan region of Borneo. It is a balanced strain with good pain-relieving qualities and average stimulation at low doses. Yellow Tanjung is more sedating than most green strains, but it is not as relaxing as red strains, making it an excellent choice for people looking for a good balance. So, super fascinating, right? Like, this is something when I started making this podcast that I think one of the first episodes I was ruminating about and saying, I wonder if this is like tea, because I know that green tea and black tea are different based on, a fermentation process, and the fact that, then you can have oolong tea, which is a midway fermentation between green and black, which is why it's an interesting flavor, a type of tea. And it's not really a black and it's not really a green. And I was wondering if that was the same with Kratom. And so this is kind of like somewhat confirming my suspicions that there's a way of like midway fermenting Kratom. And, maybe this is obvious knowledge to a lot of you, but I'm like I've always said, I'm completely new to this stuff. So I'm just learning. So I find this fascinating. And so I basically just tried the oolong of Kratom. There you go. That could be the name of this episode. The oolong of Kratom, yellow strains. I got to coin that term. Anyway, so back to the matter at hand. So I tried this yellow Tanjung yesterday, and I took, I think, maybe, let's say, it was, I'm pretty certain it was about 2 grams. 2 grams of yellow Tanjung, and I took it in the afternoon. This was a few hours after I had taken a white variety of Kratom, and it was kind of winding down, and I was about to head home. I didn't want anything to knock me out. I didn't want anything to get me too hyper. And I thought it was a perfect opportunity to try this based off of the limited research I did. So I took the yellow Tanjung, about 2 grams, and went home, and it was surprisingly pleasant. It was extremely mellow. It was not something that was like up and in my face, but it's exactly what this description says. Like, it was... I can imagine how it would act differently if I took a little bit more, a little bit less. It kind of feels like one of those ones that it's like completely based on your environment and how much of it you take, versus like some other ones where it's like no matter what, if I'm taking a white, a certain type of white, it's going to be pretty stimulating even if I take a lot of it. And that's different for everybody. But for me, I have a few types of Kratom that they're just going to do what they always do. And so this seems like it's very up in the air. It seems like one of those flexible, wild cards that you can throw out at any time of day. And based on how much you take, it can do different things for you. But what it did for me at 2 grams at the end of the day, and this is after I had already had Kratom once before that day, was it made me feel like relaxed. I definitely felt the red aspect, coming through. But it also felt like a very midway green, like not like a green Malay, not like hard and heavy and let's go like, green Mangda. It almost felt like green Borneo, which I don't have much luck with on its own, and I've been talking about that recently, though I still have to try that one with an orange. But it kind of felt like a green Borneo that was a little bit more stimulating, but at the same time, very relaxing. And it was like a reading one. That's the way I'll put it. It was like one of those ones that I like to take when I'm going to sit down and read, and I really want to absorb the material, but I want to chill out and like just drink tea by a rainy window and, watch outside and kind of chill out next to a fire all afternoon and read a book and learn a lot. That's what it was. So I would love to take this one again. Not when I did take it, which was kind of like at the end of the day when we're cooking dinner and, getting the baby to bed and all that. Like, I don't think I would take it again at the time of day I did, but I think it's got a lot of utility, and I would take it when I'm going to chill out, relax, and read a lot. I could also imagine taking this one when I'm working and I kind of have a chill day at work. I could see this being very valuable for a day like that. I also did get a slight amount of euphoria, which I thought was interesting because I didn't really see many places where it said that euphoria was a part of yellow types of kratom, and specifically yellow Tanjung. But I got a bit of euphoria out of it, and it lasted for quite some time. That was another interesting aspect of it. It didn't kick in for maybe like 30 minutes or so, but then it built a little bit, then it stopped building, and then it kind of like out of nowhere 2 hours later kicked in again, and it lasted for like another 2 hours, and it was like kind of like almost stronger at that point. But there was no in between, there was no building. It was like it went to where it was, it kicked in, it lasted for a while, it somewhat went away, or I wasn't thinking about it, and then all of a sudden it was like as if I had just taken it again for another 2 hours. So I almost feel like I got more bang for my buck of how much I took of it, and it just like, it's something I've never tried before. It was a completely new experience. So I'm just blown away. It has opened up my eyes to the yellow varieties of kratom out there, and I'm gonna have to explore this new frontier. Like, goody, ooh me, we've so much to explore. Like, woo! I'm so excited. So again, thank you, Sean. Huge shout out to you. This has, expanded my horizons once again. Just as with Chris from Happy Hippo has expanded my horizons with the kratom that he sent me after our interview. And just as Etha Natural Botanicals has expanded my horizon of what, is possible to kratom with their unique tablets and how those almost have like an extended release stage. So it's like all of these vendors, you have to shout out to all of them, because they're on the frontier of discovering the different ways that you can utilize this amazing plant. And I honestly truly value all of you so much. So thank you so much, because you're like changing my life right now. Like, you literally are creating these products, helping source these products in a responsible way, and you're making it so that people like me can find new uses for them and enhance our quality of life. I mean, it's a beautiful, wonderful relationship, and all these vendors want to, produce responsibly. I'm not even doing a pitch for all of these guys. Like, I'm not beholden to anybody. I could say that I hate this vendor or hate that vendor if I want to. Like, this is my show. I'm honestly just saying this, so I hope everybody does know that. Like, I'm not beholden to anybody. I honestly am just expanding my horizons here. So thank you all very much, and specifically this episode to Sean at Philly Kratom. So yeah, I want to explore yellows a lot more now. I've seen yellow Thai a lot. I've seen that one pop up. I believe I've seen yellow Sumatra once or twice, but I'm not sure. Don't hold me to that one. And then, there's another yellow that I've seen, yellow Mang Da. What is that one like? I feel like Mang Da is just, it can always be a wild card, but like yellow Mang Da, who knows? So I'm very excited to be exploring this new frontier. Yellow Tanjung, first time, definitely a winner in my book. I'm going to have to try it in a different circumstance. But overall, very happy, very pleased, looking forward to some more experiences. And I'm definitely going to share those experiences with you. Next time I check in about this one, I'll tell you how I used it, because I think I really am going to try it in a different scenario. But if it is the way I think it's going to be a really nice, pleasant experience where I can like chill out for the day, but also absorb a lot of information and get some work done, or just enjoy a good book. So sounds great. I hope you all find this one interesting. And let me know if you've got any experiences with yellows. I mean, this is a whole new frontier for me. I'm super pumped. I'm excited to be exploring it with you all. So thanks so much for listening in. We'll be back tomorrow. All right, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.